Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for October 21st of 2025 is titled IC 1805, the Heart Nebula. So what do we see here? Well, this is what is known as the Heart Nebula and actually has a vague resemblance to the human heart, and is also cataloged as IC 1805, its catalog designation. Now, the coloring we see here is looking at the colors of three specific elements. So we look at the light of hydrogen in the red, we also see silicon in the yellow, and oxygen in the blue region. So each of those is highlighting where different elements are excited to their peak and are most visible. So that really doesn't mean that the yellow areas are made up of silicon. It just means that the temperatures there are right to be able to excite the silicon atoms properly and cause them to glow. And the same thing is true of the oxygen atoms. Now, toward the center of the Heart Nebula, we see the star cluster known as Melat 15. And that is an example of an open star cluster, or a star cluster right now in the process of formation. An open star cluster is called open because the stars are not gravitationally bound together. And that means there simply are not enough stars there that their gravity will hold them and keep the cluster together, and these stars will slowly spread out over time. So the individual motions of each star over many millions of years and tens of millions of years and hundreds of millions of years will spread out, and they will eventually disperse out within the galaxy. So our own sun could have once been part of a cluster much like this, but has since wandered away, as have all the other members of that cluster, over time. Now, if we look around the edge of the cluster there, then we can see some of the regions where material is being pushed back by those stars. So the energetic stars will then push away the material, and the denser knots that remain are stars that are still trying to form. They are struggling to form faster than the material is being eaten away. So it's a struggle between the stars and the gas there, the gas and dust within the nebula, as to whether the star can collapse and form a new star before the already formed stars wipe out the material and leave too little material for stars to form. In the long run, the stars will always win. So they will end up pushing material back, and eventually, say a couple 100 million years from now, we will see an open star cluster here, and with just some wisps of material, and most of the other gas and dust will have been expelled outward into space to perhaps form future generations of stars. But the open star cluster will remain with its stars going through their lives as they slowly disperse out into space around the galaxy. So that was our picture of the day for October 21st of 2025. It was titled IC 1805, the Heart Nebula. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.